In today's video, we're going to talk about how substitutions work in Naruto Storm connections. First, what is a substitution bar? It was a mechanic created and implemented into the online Naruto Storm series after Naruto Storm 2, in the game Naruto Storm Generations. The main reason why they brought this mechanic into the series is because most people were not comboing, and those that wanted to combo were being punished for comboing in Naruto Storm 2, the first online Storm game. This is a big reason why Naruto Storm Generations is a fan favorite for anime fans across the world. They really loved this game because once you wasted people's substitution bars and got the forced substitution bars down to 0, you were then able to actually combo without restrictions for the most part. Once you got contact and you opened up their guard and they had no substitution bars, you were then able to do a combo of your choosing. And you could actually do creative combos consistently for the first time ever in an online Storm game. Generations is unbelievably important to all Naruto fans and anime fans and gamers who love to play Naruto games. It's from this moment on, all the way to Storm 4 and Connections, that we still have this substitution bar system with the 4 substitution bars. In this video, I'm going to show you how substitutions work in Naruto Storm Connections and how it's a bit different from past games. The substitution bars are actually a lot thicker and bigger, and they're easier to see. In past Storm games, when you took damage, the bar would actually regenerate, and it would, for any damage that you took, there was an equal amount of substitution meter that would regenerate. That has changed in Naruto Storm Connections, I believe, for the first time. When you're being hit, that bar doesn't regenerate anymore, but it did in every other game, from Naruto Storm Generations, Storm 3, Revolution, and Storm 4. I believe it regenerated in most of those games, if not all of those games, but now that's out the window. That's going to be a really big difference, a small change that's going to make a big impact. So as long as you don't substitute while they regenerate, the substitutions will immediately come back after a certain amount of time. Here we go, and the timer starts here. From the beginning of that substitution, from the second that he substituted, from the millisecond that he substituted, boom. The first sub and the last sub. Okay, so we have 2 timers here. The bottom one is the first one, and the top one is the last substitution. So in a situation where you have the last substitution, it is exactly 12.3 seconds. Now I'm going to show you a different scenario. So last substitution bar, he has no more substitutions, and the Itachi player is going to combo. So, okay, now there's a cinematic sequence. So instead of 12.3 seconds, right, that timer has been cut into, and now Naruto has a cinematic sequence. So there's 2 ultimate jutsus going off here. From the time that the player who's doing the ultimate jutsu starts their ultimate jutsu cinematic sequence to the time that it ends, right? So from the time that they can move again, then it comes back. So as you can see there, I think it took about 34.9 seconds that time to come back. So if you're looking at it, the big difference here in Connections is that during a cinematic sequence, things work a little bit differently. First substitution bar, not just based off of time, but how hitboxes and priority and this kind of stuff could all be varied. Okay, and that was the second one. So this is a situation where there's only 2 used, and watch, it starts coming back now. I believe that was 12.3. So that was a scenario where it's like, okay, it's not the last one. It's, they still have 2 substitution bars left. Will it act differently? It looks like it acts about the same. It doesn't matter if it's the second or third or fourth substitution bar. They start, it just starts coming back after 12.3 seconds. It's 12.33 seconds is the typical, but sometimes it's 12.37. And sometimes it's a little bit different. So, okay, so this is a very long one here, where there's cinematic sequences happening. So the substitution bars, okay, that's kind of like whatever. That ended around, but that was like 41.1 seconds. So that's an interesting scenario because for 41.1 seconds, you weren't able to get your substitution bars back. So